Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of News Analysis, where we take you through trending issues and where we discuss important happenings around us. On today's episode of News Analysis, the presidential candidates most preferred by the PDP and the person of Atiku Abubakar has been sidelined or is being ganged up upon by governors of the PDP. At age 77 and going to 80 in November, the next presidential election in 2027 is realistically Atiku Abubakar's last chance to contest for the presidential seat. His fellow governors in the PDP have stated that he is too old and does not stand a chance against whoever will come up in the 2027 election. But the odds are already stacked against the former vice president, who will be hoping for a third successive shot at the nation's highest office under the People's Democratic Party platform. Atiku, however, may be forced into retirement by these circumstances since he doesn't want to do it voluntarily. Now, this was said by Chief Abia Onyeke, PDP's chieftain and former commissioner for information in Ebonyi State. According to this former commissioner, he said from the way things are now, nobody is ready to listen to Atiku anymore. Moreover, age is no longer on his side. Abubakar Atiku has over the years been PDP's most recognizable national figure and has beaten off challenges, no matter how stiff, to clinch the presidential ticket. In the last two general elections, 2019 and 2023, he has opted and tried for the presidential seat, but to no avail, going ahead on each occasion to finish second in the ultimate presidential race, but never coming up as the president. But as situation will have it, his age is no longer on his side and is now a barrier for him to come out. The People's Democratic Party has, however, begun to reconsider bringing him up again as the presidential candidate. The Adamawa state-born politician, Atiku, had earlier in May vowed that he would keep contesting for the Nigerian presidency as long as he is hale and hearty. Speaking to journalists in the context of lingering leadership crisis in the PDP, Atiku has said that he was encouraged by the fact that former United States President Abraham Lincoln did not win the presidential vote on the first time of asking. He said even the former President Abraham Lincoln contested 7 times before finally winning. However, given the current state of the PDP, it is clear that a single-handed effort will not suffice to win the election. Strong support and collaboration with other parties are required. But contrary to this story about Abraham Lincoln only ran for presidency in 1960, and having achieved massive support in the north of the United States on the back of his anti-slavery campaign, he swept on the occasion, becoming president in 1861 at the age of 52. Atiku, on the other hand, has already been on the ballot on 3 occasions, 2007, 2019, and 2023, and will be chasing 81 by the time Nigerians head to the poll in 2027. He appears not to be reading the room, as events in the PDP suggest that even stakeholders from his core northeast had begun to consciously shift from his influence, perhaps in the understanding that he may no longer be a factor in their political figures. But does age really matter? The present President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not so young himself. Does age have a role to play in Nigerian politics? Democracy in Nigeria is not as we know, and is not like other countries where age and other factors that are supposed to matter do matter. Some party members have argued, however, that the crisis between the PDP have divided the party into two, those supporting Atiku and those supporting Nyesom Wike. Regardless, given the above context, many observers have expected that the Adamawa chapter would stand with Atiku, but that is not the case. Indeed, many are of the opinion that the Adamawa chapter will back Damagum, and indicates that Atiku's 2027 presidential ambition is now in jeopardy, with the PDP FCT minister evidently determined to shut the door against him, perhaps to perfect an easy return of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Wike camp of the PDP, according to sources, are determined to ensure that power remains in the South in 2027. There have been suggestions that Seyi Makinde, Oyo State Governor, is the favorite to run, with a vice presidential candidate likely from Atiku's northeast, and this is to balance the said democracy in the country. To this end, Fintiri and Bala Mohammed, Governor of Bauchi, have been fronted as the likely candidates to deputize the southern candidate. Apart from Fintiri, Mohammed, who is the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, has also backed Damagum, a decision understood to be informed by his own political ambition. Meanwhile, although the party had, after failing to hold a National Executive Council meeting for 2 successive times, shifted the date to October 2024, it is understood that the meeting may not still hold because the governors have been unable to resolve the factional tension between them. Many in the former vice presidential camp, however, calling for a joint ticket between Atiku and Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last election. But such is also unlikely in these circumstances, as Peter Obi stands a chance, but Atiku does not. In 2019, Atiku lost his best chance to massive rigging. In one of the few people who believe that Atiku should have won the election is one of his members in the PDP. Does Atiku really stand a chance in this coming election? Many have advised him to retire so as to avoid any form of problem and to save face. What is the hope for Atiku in this coming election? Join us for recent and more trending issues on News Analysis.